The Republican plan to replace the Affordable Care Act just took a major hit even before the Senate could even vote on it.
Yeah, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office reviewed that bill and tonight has released its report. 22 million Americans would lose health insurance if that bill becomes law.
KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan has reaction from top Republican senators and, of course, critics of the plan tonight.
Absolutely. So could the timing on this be any worse for the Trump administration and bill supporters? I don't think so. Tonight, a scathing congressional budget report on the estimated fallout from the Senate health care plan has created confusion and hesitation on Capitol Hill, jeopardizing the push to pass the plan this week. And with midterms coming up in a year, the last thing a lot of senators want is TV news reports about angry constituents screaming at them at tense meetings back home.
Obviously, it's not good news.
Senator John McCain, who says he's from a Medicaid expansion state, now on the fence after the Congressional Budget Office conclusions about the Senate health care bill. Staggering numbers. 22 million more Americans would be going without health coverage by 2026. Only slightly better than the House bill, where the prediction was 23 million would be going without coverage. And the president declared that's mean.
That was my term, because I want to see, and I speak from the heart. That's what I want to see. I want to see a bill with heart.
The CBO report says next year would be the worst, when 15 million more people would be uninsured, primarily because the penalty for not having insurance would be eliminated. And it goes on to say the numbers would continue to fall in later years because of lower spending on Medicaid and substantially smaller average subsidies for coverage.
It's hard to quantify how big a deal this is. This is healthcare Armageddon.
Anthony Wright is the executive director of Health Access California. He says this state would be hit hardest.
This is not just rolling back coverage for the last 5 years under the progress we've made under the Affordable Care Act. This is rolling us back 50 years, undoing the 50-year commitment of the Medicaid program that serves a third of the state, 14 million Californians. It's just a cut of the ACA and a dismantlement of the Medicaid program.
California Senator Dianne Feinstein had this reaction. The CBO notes that despite being eligible for premium tax credits, few low-income people would purchase any plan because those plans would essentially be junk. This is simply indefensible, and I don't know how anyone could vote for this bill.
These programs are growing at an unsustainable rate.
Mississippi Republican Senator Roger Wicker and most of his GOP colleagues say their market-based approach will give consumers more choices at lower costs. But the CBO report projects that most people purchasing insurance on the individual market would have higher out-of-pocket spending on health care. Despite the negative report and the hard feelings, Republican leaders are vowing to force a vote on the Senate bill this week, with GOP holdouts caving in.
The choice is, you want to go back home and say, well, I supported Obamacare over the Republican plan, and I don't think they do.
But winning over Republicans like Nevada Senator Dean Heller won't be easy.
This bill that's currently in front of the United States Senate, not the answer. It's simply not the answer. And I'm announcing today that in this form I will not support it.
And another Republican is warning the leadership about buying senators' votes.
If you're going to make any changes to get votes, I'm willing to do that, but I'm not going to do the Cornhusker kickback or the Louisiana Purchase. So the best way to lose me on this bill is to start buying people off.
Now, the Washington Post reporting tonight that by the end of the day, at least 4 Republican senators were saying they would vote against even starting the debate on the Senate health care bill, creating an increasingly difficult challenge for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. But things can change real quick in Washington, so stay tuned for updates, right? We know that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what is the White House doing tonight to push back against these CBO numbers?
Well, they're putting out, their side of the story. Yeah. And as they often do, the White House and the president are using one of their favorite weapons to fight back, Twitter. And they're attacking the Congressional Budget Office, which released today's report, pointing out that when the CBO, examined the Obamacare plan, they estimated that 23 million people would be covered by 2017. Well, they were off by 100%, the tweet claimed, since only 10.3 million people are covered as of this year. Now, On top of that, CNN Money reported this month that number's down nearly 1 million from last year, due in part, they say, to attacks from the Trump administration, including canceling millions of dollars in advertising during the open enrollment period that they say created turmoil and confusion about the program. So, Jeff, Elsa, go figure, huh?